What does a $500,000 corporate investment portfolio have to do with, like, picking up dog poop in a suburban backyard?
Well, it sounds like a joke, but it's actually one of the smartest business pivots happening right now.
It really is. Today, we are looking at how white-collar executives are quietly hijacking the blue-collar lawn care industry.
Yeah, the shift is pretty incredible to watch.
Right. So picture this. You are sitting at your desk right now, maybe, staring out the window of your corporate office, quietly dreaming of an exit strategy.
Oh, we've all been there.
Exactly. Or maybe you're already an existing business owner. You've built some wealth, and you are scanning the horizon to expand your portfolio.
Right, looking for that next big thing.
Yeah. And either way, you are looking for an opportunity that isn't just buying yourself another, grueling 60-hour-a-week job. You want a system.
And that is exactly what we are dissecting today. We are looking at a brand called Heroes Lawn Care.
Which operates under the umbrella of horsepower brands.
Right. Yes, exactly. And it is a fascinating case study because it completely upends the traditional narrative of the home services sector.
How so? I mean, lawn care is lawn care, right?
Well, when most people think of landscaping or lawn care, they picture a highly fragmented, um, somewhat outdated model.
Yeah, like a guy with a pickup truck.
Right, a pickup truck, a trailer, a couple of mowers, and a cell phone ringing off the hook while he's trying to work in the summer heat.
The classic mom and pop operator. I mean, they
Exactly.
do good physical work, but the business itself is built entirely around their physical labor.
Exactly. If they get sick, the revenue stops.
Yeah, the whole thing grinds to a halt. So today, we want to look at the mechanics of a totally different approach.
Mm.
We're going to explore the underlying unit economics, the psychology of the consumer, and the massive corporate support structure required to scale a business like this.
It's a completely different beast.
Okay, let's unpack this. Before we look at the financial barrier to entry, we really need to understand the product itself.
Right, the actual service.
Yeah, because the traditional landscaper just throws, mowing, edging, and fertilizing onto a single flyer.
Mm.
But Heroes has fractured their services into totally separate brands.
They have.
Why on earth would they do that instead of just operating as one unified landscaping company?
It comes down to consumer psychology, honestly, and perceived authority.
Perceived authority.
Yeah. I mean, if you have a complex problem with your home's sprinkler system, do you want to hire the guy whose main job is cutting grass? Or do you want to hire an irrigation specialist?
Oh, a specialist for sure.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trust the mowing guy with my pipes.
Right. So Heroes Lawn Care engineered their model to capture that premium specialist market. They haven't just listed services on a website.
They built actual divisions.
Exactly. They've structured the business into highly specialized, heavily branded divisions. It creates an immediate sense of tactical precision.
I see. So it's kind of like a specialized medical clinic, but for your yard. You don't go to your general practitioner for heart surgery.
That's a perfect way to put it.
So how are these divisions actually broken down?
Well, first, you have what they call their fertilizer force.
Fertilizer force. Gotcha.
Yeah, and this division is dedicated exclusively to weed control, core aeration, and sod installation.
Okay, so totally focus on the health of the grass.
Right. Then, completely separate but integrated into the ecosystem is the irrigation army.
That's the sprinkler specialist we were talking about.
Exactly. They handle drip irrigation, full system installations, inspections, repairs, and ongoing sprinkler maintenance.
And they have a pet waste division too, right?
Yes, duty.
Duty. I love that.
It's catchy, right? Dedicated residential and commercial pet waste pickup.
Okay, what else?
Then there is the Mosquito Legion, which provides targeted mosquito control so homeowners can actually tolerate being in their outdoor spaces during the summer.
Oh, that's huge in the South, for sure.
Massive. And finally, they have a plus category for snow and ice removal in the winter and complete lawn and landscape design.
Which covers what, exactly?
Stuff like hardscape construction and artificial turf installation. High-ticket items.
Okay, I have to push back here for a second.
Sure, go for it.
On paper, having a catchy name for every service sounds great. But from an operational standpoint, I mean, this sounds like an absolute nightmare for a local owner.
It does sound like a lot to juggle.
Right. You aren't just running a lawn care business anymore. You are suddenly managing chemical applicators for fertilizer, plumbers for the irrigation, snowplow drivers in the winter, and, like, teenagers picking up dog waste.
Yeah, it's a lot of different skill sets.
How does a local CEO actually manage that many disjointed operations without going completely crazy.
Well, that is the exact friction point that separates a scalable enterprise from a mom-and-pop shop.
Okay.
The independent operator simply can't manage all of that, which is why they usually stick to just cutting grass.
Right, because it's too complicated.
Exactly. But in this model, you aren't managing the daily tasks. You are managing the managers of those specialized teams.
Ah, I see.
And the reason you take on that operational complexity is because of the massive compounding impact it has on customer acquisition costs.
Meaning, once you acquire a customer for one service, it's cheaper to sell them the second one.
Precisely. Let's look at the mechanics of cross-selling for a second.
Walk me through it.
Let's say you spend marketing dollars to acquire a customer for the irrigation army to fix a broken sprinkler head.
Okay, so you paid for that lead.
Right. And a licensed, highly trained technician shows up. They use eco-friendly organic products. They provide a world-class professional experience backed by a 100% satisfaction guarantee.
So the customer is happy.
The customer is thrilled. You have now established absolute trust.
Right.
So a month later, when that same customer realizes they have a mosquito problem, you don't have to spend a single marketing dollar to win that job.
Because they already know and trust you.
Exactly. The Mosquito Legion steps in. The customer acquisition cost for that second, third, and fourth service drops effectively to zero.
Wow. You already have their trust, and crucially, you already have their credit card on file in your system.
Exactly.
It's the classic land and expand strategy, but applied to residential backyards. You land the account with aeration, and you expand into irrigation, pet waste, and winter snow removal.
And let's talk about the business value of those specific services, because they are incredibly strategic.
How so?
Take sprinkler winterization, for example. In many parts of the country, this isn't an optional luxury. It is a forced, high-margin, annual recurring event.
Oh, right. Because if you don't blow out the sprinklers, they freeze and break.
Exactly. If customers don't do it, their pipes burst and cause thousands of dollars in damage.
That's a strong incentive to buy.
Right, and by capturing these essential seasonal tasks, you bridge the gap between summer and winter.
You completely eliminate the classic landscaping trap where you make all your money in the spring and starve in the winter.
Exactly. You're building a fortress of recurring revenue.
But to build that fortress, you need serious capital. If you are fielding licensed technicians across 5 different sub-brands and managing fleets of specialized vehicles, this cannot be a cheap business to start.
No, it's definitely not.
Let's get into the unit economics.
Yeah.
What does it actually cost to get the keys to this machine?
This is where we filter out the casual operator. The brand has been franchising since 2020.
Okay.
To get into this, the total initial investment range falls between $281,000 and $492,000.
Wait, $500,000?
Yep, up to nearly $500,000.
For a lawn care franchise.
Oh, I know it sounds high.
I mean, I could go buy a massive established fast food franchise for that kind of money, or like a boutique fitness studio. Why on earth would I sink $500,000 into grass and sprinklers?
Because of the margins and the quality of life.
Okay, tell me more.
Think about it. If you buy a fast food franchise for $500,000, you are dealing with highly perishable inventory.
Right. Food goes bad.
Massive commercial real estate leases. Brutal hours of operation. Late nights, weekends. And minimum wage turnover is a nightmare.
That's true. It's a grind.
With a premium home services model, you have no retail storefront, your inventory doesn't spoil in a refrigerator, and your hours are generally Monday through Friday during daylight.
That does sound a lot more appealing for a corporate professional.
Right. But more importantly, this financial profile acts as a very intentional filter. The franchisor is fundamentally not looking for someone who wants to ride the mower.
They want an executive.
They want a CEO. If we connect this to the bigger picture, a $500,000 net worth requirement screens for serious corporate professionals or multi-unit investors.
Because it also requires, what, $100,000 in liquid cash?
Exactly, $100,000 liquid. They want someone who understands how to manage middle management, how to interpret financial dashboards, and how to scale an enterprise across multiple territories.
So your daily focus is entirely on key performance indicators, like your customer lifetime value, your employee retention rates, and optimizing your routing software.
Exactly.
You are buying a business machine, not a job. And I see here that the initial franchise agreement term is 10 years, and it's renewable.
Yes.
That tells me this is a long-term equity play. You are building an asset with a massive recurring revenue base that you can eventually sell to private equity or another major operator down the line, rather than just, pulling a monthly salary out of it.
Exactly, you're building enterprise value. But it also comes with an ongoing cost.
Well,
Once you are operating, there is an 8% royalty fee on your gross sales.
okay, here's where my executive brain kicks in.
Let's hear it.
If I am a corporate professional and I've just invested nearly $500,000 to launch this enterprise, and I am paying an 8% royalty every single month on my top-line revenue,
Right.
I'm going to demand a massive return on that royalty. I am not paying 8% just for a fancy logo and a localized website.
Oh, absolutely not.
What is the franchisor actually doing to earn that check? How do they solve that operational nightmare we talked about earlier?
Well, this brings us to the most staggering data point of this entire model.
Hit me.
When you evaluate any franchise opportunity, you have to look at the ratio of corporate support staff to the number of open franchise units.
Right. Because if a brand has 1,000 open units and only 10 people working at headquarters, you are essentially paying royalties to be totally ignored. You are on your own.
Exactly, you're just a number. Well, Heroes Lawn Care has 250 employees at their corporate headquarters, supporting just 19 franchise units.
Wait, hold on. They have 250 corporate employees for 19 local owners.
Yes.
That ratio is absurd. It implies the franchisor is taking on massive overhead.
Yeah.
How is that even sustainable for the parent company?
Yeah.
And what exactly are those 250 people doing for the franchisee?
It is sustainable because the parent company, Horsepower Brands, is heavily capitalized and executing a specific growth strategy. They deliberately front-loaded their corporate infrastructure. They built the massive corporate machine first, taking on the overhead themselves, to ensure the absolute success of their early adopters.
Oh, I see. Because if those first 19 units achieve incredible unit economics, validating the model to future buyers becomes incredibly easy.
Exactly. It's an investment in their own proof of concept.
So what are those 250 people actually doing all day?
They are acting as your fully staffed back office. First, you have Z Marketing.
Z Marketing. Is that an outsourced agency they partner with?
No, it is an exclusive in-house marketing and strategy team.
Oh, wow.
They are dedicated entirely to driving local leads and sales for the franchisees.
Okay, I see the mechanism here.
Yeah.
The executive buyer we talked about, the one transitioning out of corporate America, they might be great at managing a P&L, but they probably have no idea how to optimize local Google search rankings for sprinkler repair.
Right, or how to run hyper-targeted Facebook ads for mosquito control.
Exactly. This infrastructure bridges that exact knowledge gap.
Yes, the in-house team handles the incredibly complex algorithms of modern customer acquisition. But the operational technology goes even deeper. The franchisor provides a nationwide call center for customer support.
Let's map out what that actually looks like on a Tuesday afternoon.
Sure.
Let's say one of my technicians is out installing sod, and a completely different customer calls because they want to upgrade their fertilizer force package.
Okay, so in the mom and pop model, that call goes straight to the owner's cell phone while they are in a noisy truck trying to hire a new employee.
Right, and they can't hear anything.
Exactly. They miss the call or they scramble to write the details on a napkin, and they probably lose the lead.
Yeah.
In the Heroes model, that call is routed to a professional, centralized call center.
That's a game changer.
A trained representative answers, pulls up your local availability, answers the customer's questions, and books the appointment directly into your digitized system.
It's like buying the software operating system for a business. The franchisor handles the call center, they handle the digital lead generation, and they process the inbound sales routing.
Right.
And you, as the local CEO, just focus on hiring the technicians to execute the work that magically appears on your schedule. It completely changes the risk profile for the investor.
It really does. What's fascinating here is they even provide customized KPI dashboards for real-time insights.
You know your numbers.
Exactly. So you can see exactly where your margins are at any given moment. And for the high-ticket sales like hardscaping or artificial turf installation, which can run into the tens of thousands of dollars, they offer dedicated virtual designers.
Virtual designers.
Yeah. If a homeowner wants to see what a new patio looks like, your sales team doesn't have to sketch it on a notepad. You tap into the corporate design resources to present a stunning virtual visual presentation that helps close the deal.
The local independent landscaper simply cannot compete with that. They cannot afford an in-house digital marketing agency, a dedicated 24/7 call center, and a team of virtual landscape designers.
It's an unfair advantage.
Truly.
Yeah.
But surely a corporate executive with zero landscaping experience still needs to understand how the actual dirt and grass side of the business works, right? How does the training function?
No, it is a rigorous process. It is not just handing you a manual and wishing you luck.
I would hope not for $500,000.
Right. It starts with comprehensive training through interactive videos and virtual sessions, but it culminates in a week-long intensive boot camp.
A boot camp.
Yes, you are drilled on the processes, the corporate culture, and the technical knowledge of the service offerings. You have to understand the science behind what the fertilizer force does, even if you are never going to be the one spraying the lawn.
That makes sense. You can't manage what you don't understand.
Exactly. And because of that massive 250-to-19 support ratio, the continuous ongoing guidance long after your grand opening is incredibly hands-on.
So let's pull all of this together. We are looking at a total paradigm shift in a traditionally blue-collar space.
Absolutely.
You take a messy, fragmented industry, one that is notoriously difficult to scale because of seasonal fluctuations and unpredictable cash flow, and you inject it with white-collar, enterprise-level infrastructure.
Spot on.
You fracture the services into specialized brands to build trust and eliminate customer acquisition costs on cross-sells.
Yes.
You set a $500,000 financial barrier to ensure you are only recruiting serious executives. And then you back them up with a corporate headquarters that operates like a massive tech company, handling the marketing, the call center, and the design work.
It is the ultimate professionalization of the neighborhood service provider. The unit economics we discussed earlier and the potential for long-term equity growth are a direct result of combining local executive talent with massive corporate systematization.
Absolutely. It is a highly compelling model for the right kind of operator who wants to act as a true CEO. But evaluating a sophisticated enterprise model like this requires serious, objective due diligence to make sure it aligns with your specific capital, your goals, and your local market dynamics.